Hands. Hands? What are hands? Are they used to pick objects? Locomotion? Copy feel of these? How about you catch these hands? Or better yet, hand-holding. Wait, that's too lewd. All of this and more on this episode of Wait. Wrong show. Okay, hello. Greetings, gentle viewers, and welcome to me reading. So, I wanted to practice my reading, and maybe we could, hopefully improve my reading, so it would stutter as much and stuff. And as you can see, I do have a notice up there. So yeah, I'll be reading about 5 stories. I'm not sure how long it will be. If it's too quick, I'll probably read extras and stuff, but somehow I doubt it's gonna be quick. Maybe an hour? I don't know. So I'll be taking 15-minute breaks every time I finish a story. But it's more like a 15 minutes and 30 seconds, but I don't want to put the 30 seconds into that. Otherwise we'll just clog up something. I mean, the screen. Right. Anyways, right here, I have my cup of tea. My Earl Grey tea. Hopefully you got a drink as well, so yeah. Hold on for a moment. Alright, okay. Allow me to clear my throat for a while. I haven't been really speaking too much today, so yeah. Oh, the Poe Museum. So we're gonna start with The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. But we'll begin with shortly, once he reaches the 5th minute mark maybe. Oh boy. If you can't really tell, I'm quite nervous, and something is going on in my throat. Alright, so yeah. No, I don't want to hear the Telltale Heart read aloud. That's because I'm the one reading it. Sorry if my throat clearing earlier was a bit too loud. Yeah, it's a... How do you say? It's a constant thing. I'm not too sure what's wrong. Maybe I probably should see a doctor or something. Because this wasn't a thing like 2 years ago. Or 3, I guess. So yeah. So, shall we begin? The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. True. Nervous. Very, very dreadfully nervous I had been and am. But why will you say that I'm mad? The disease had sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all was the sense of hearing acute. I heard all the things in the heaven and in the earth. I heard many things in hell. How then am I mad? Hearken, and observe how healthily, how calmly I can tell you the whole story. It is impossible to say how the first idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night. Object, there was none. Passion, there was none. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me. He had never given me insult. For his gold, I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was this. One of his eyes resembled that of a vulture. A pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold, and so by degrees very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man, and thus rid myself of the eye forever. Now this is the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing. But you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceed, with what caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation I went to work. I was never kinder to the old man than during the whole week before I killed him. And every night, about midnight, I turned the latch of his door and opened it. Ooh, so gently. And then, when I had made an opening sufficient for my head, I put in the dark lantern, all closed, so no light. Excuse me, I gotta clear it for a while. All closed, so that no light shone out. And then I thrust my head. And then I thrust in my head. Oh, you would have laughed to see how cunningly I thrust it in. I moved it slowly, very, very slowly, so I might not disturb the old man's sleep. It took me an hour to place my whole head within the opening so far that I could see him as he lay upon his bed. Ha! Would a madman have been so wise as this? And then my head was well in the room. When my head was well in the room, I undid the lantern cautiously. Ooh, so cautiously. Cautiously, for the hinges creaked. I undid it just so much that a single thin ray of light fell upon the vulture's eye. And this I did for 7 long nights, every night just at midnight. But I found the eye was closed, and so it was possible for me to do the work. For it was not the old man who vexed me, but his evil eye. And every morning, when day broke, I went boldly into the chamber, and spoke courageously to him, calling him by name in a hearty tone, and inquiring how he had passed the night. So you see, he would have been a very profound old man indeed to suspect that every night, just at 12, I looked in upon him while he slept. Upon the 8th night, I was more than usually cautious in the opening the door. A watcher's minute hand moves more quickly than did mine. Never before that I had felt the extent of my own powers, of my sagacity, whatever you pronounce that shit. I could scarcely contain my feelings of triumph. To think that there I was, opening the door, little by little, and he not even dreamed to dream of my secret deeds or thoughts. Sorry, let me move the mouse for a bit. I fairly chuckled at the idea, and perhaps he heard me, for he moved on the bed suddenly, as if startled. Now you may think that I drew back, but no. His room was as black as pitch, with the thick darkness, for the shutters were closed, fastened through the fear of robbers. And so I knew that he could not see the opening of the door, and I kept pushing it on steadily. I had my head in, and was about to open the lantern when my thumb slipped upon the tin fastening. And the old man sprang up in the bed. Wow. And the old man sprang in the bed, crying out, "Who's there?" I kept quite still and said nothing. For a whole hour, I did not move a muscle. And in the meantime, I did not hear him lie down. He was still sitting up in the bed, listening, just as I have done night after night, hearkening to the death watches at the wall. Presently, I heard a slight groan, and I knew it was the groan of a mortal terror. Excuse me. And I knew it was the groan of mortal terror. It was not a groan of pain or grief. Oh no, it was a low, stifled sound that arose from the bottom of the soul when overcharged with awe. I knew the sound so well. Many a night, just at midnight, when all the world slept, has welled up from my own bosom, deepening within its dreadful echo. The terrors that distracted me, I say, I knew it well. I knew what the old man felt, and pitied him. Excuse me, and pitied him. Although I chuckled at heart, I knew that he had been lying awake ever since the first slight noise. When he had turned in the bed, his fears had been ever since growing upon him. He had been trying to fancy them causeless, but could not. He had been saying to himself, "It's nothing but a wind in the chimney. It's only a mouse crossing the floor," or it is merely a cricket which has made a single chirp. Yes, he has been trying to comfort himself with these superstitions. But he had found all in vain. All in vain because death, in approaching him, had stalked with his black shadow before him, and enveloped the victim. And it was the mournful influence of the unperceived shadow that caused him to feel, although he neither saw nor heard, to feel the presence of my head within the room. When I had waited a long time, very patiently, without hearing him lie down, I resolved to open a very, very little crevice in the lantern. So I opened it. You cannot imagine how stealthily, until at a single dim ray, like a thread of a spider, shot from the crevice and fell upon the vulture eye. It was open, wide open, and I grew furious as I gazed upon it. I saw it with perfect distinctness, all a dull blue, with a hideous veil over it that chilled the very marrows in my bones. But I could see nothing else from the old man's face or person, for I had directed the ray, as if by instinct, precisely upon the damned spot. And now have I not told you that what you have mistaken for madness is but over-acuteness of the senses? Now, I say, there came to my ears a low, dull, quick sound, such as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I knew that sound well, too. It was the beating of the old man's heart. It increased my fury, as the beating of a drum stimulates the soldier into courage. But even yet I refrained and kept still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lantern motionless. I tried to steady. I could maintain the ray upon the eye. I tried how steadily I could maintain the ray upon the eye. Meantime, the hellish tattoo of the heart increased. It grew quicker and quicker, and louder every instant. The man's terror must have been extreme. It grew louder, I say louder, every moment. Do you mind me well? I have told you that I am nervous, so I am. And now at the dead hour of the night, amid the dreadful silence of that whole house, so strange a noise as this excited me to uncontrollable terror. Yet for some minutes longer I refrained and stood still. But the beating grew louder, louder. I thought the heart must have burst. Wait, excuse me, my eyes kinda making up images because the background's black and the text is white. So I'm kinda looking at 3D images right now. I thought that the heart must burst, and now a new anxiety seized me. The sound would be heard by a neighbor. The old man's hour had come. With a loud yell, I threw open the lantern and leaped into a room. He had shrieked once. Once only. In an instant I dragged him to the floor and pulled the heavy bed over him. I smiled gaily to find the deed so far done. But for many minutes the heart beat on no muffled. But for many minutes the heart beat on with a muffled sound. This, however, did not vex me. It would not be heard through the wall. At length it ceased. The old man was dead. I removed the bed and examined the corpse. Yes, he was stone dead. I placed my hand upon the heart, and held it there many minutes. There was no pulsation. He was stone dead. His eye would not trouble me no more. If you still think me mad, you will think so no longer when I describe the wise precautions I took for the concealment of the body. The night waned, and I worked hastily, but in silence. First of all, I dismembered the corpse. I cut off the head and the arms and the legs. I then took up 3 planks from the flooring of the chamber and deposited all between the scantlings. I then replaced the boards so cleverly, so cunningly that no human eye, not even his, could have detected anything wrong. There was nothing to wash out, no stain of any kind, no blood spot, whatever. I had been too wary of that, for that. I thought I had caught all. When I had made an end of these labors, it was 4 o'clock, still dark as midnight. As the bell sounded the hour, there came a knocking at my street door. I went down to open it with a light heart. For what had I now to fear? There entered 3 men who introduced themselves with perfect suavity. As officers of the police, a shriek had been heard by a neighbor during the night. A suspicion of foul play had been aroused. Information had been lodged at the police office, and they, the officers, had been deputed to search the premises. I smiled. For what had I feared? Why could I read? For what had I to fear? I bade the gentleman welcome. The shriek, I said, was my own in a dream. The old man I mentioned was absent in the country. I took my visitors all over the house. I bade them search well. I led them at length to his chamber. I showed him his treasures, secure, undistributed. In the enthusiasm of my confidence, I brought chairs into the room and desired them here to rest from their fatigues, while I myself, in the wild audacity of my perfect triumph, placed my own seat upon the very spot beneath which reposed the corpse of the victim. The officers were satisfied. My manner had convinced them. I was singularly at ease. They sat, and while I answered cheerily, they chatted of familiar things. But ere long, I felt myself getting pale and wished them gone. My head ached, and I fancied a ringing in my ears. But still they sat and still chatted. The ringing became more distinct. The continuing became more distinct. I talked more freely to get rid of the feeling, but it continued and gained definiteness. Until at length, I found that the noise was not within my ears. No doubt, I now grew very pale, but I talked more fluently, and with a heightened voice, yet the sound increased. And what could I do? It was a low, dull, quick sound, much such a sound as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I gasped for breath, and yet the officers heard it not. I talked more quickly, more vehemently, but the noise steadily increased. I arose and argued about trifles in a high key with violent gesticulations. But the noise steadily increased. Why would they not be gone? I paced the floor to and fro with heavy strides, as if excited to fury by the observations of the men. But the noise steadily increased. Oh God, what could I do? I foamed, I raved, I swore. I swung the chair upon which I had been sitting and grated it upon the boards. But the noise arose over all in continuing increase. Oh, burp. It grew louder, louder. And still the man chatted pleasantly and smiled. Was it possible they heard me not? Oh mighty God, no. They heard, they suspected, they knew. They were making a mockery of my horror. This I thought, and this I think. But anything was better than this agony. Anything was more tolerable than this derision. I couldn't bear those hypocritical smiles no longer. I felt that I must scream or die. Now, again, louder. Villains! I shrieked. Dissemble no more. I commit the deed. Tear up the plagues. Here. It is the beating of his hideous heart. And there you go. The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, January 1843. Well then, that was nice. Do tell me how I've done. Well, excuse me if I kind of made a little bit of a goof before. That's kind of unprofessional, but usually when I record, I just do like, when I mess up something, I'm just like blah 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 blah, and I just re-record the lines, you know. And yeah, that's how I usually do my recordings. And now I'm gonna turn on the timer. Give me a moment. Wait, it's not working. Hold on a second. Give me a moment. Timer. Timer? What are timers? Is it working? No? Oh, for frick's sake, man. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to browse it. Ah, I see. Is it working now? No? Okay, fine, fine. If you want it, then you have to take it. Oh, okay, it's working now. Great, nice. But yeah, that's my take on the story of, yeah, Telltale Heart. Allow me to start the break time. So that was kind of interesting, was it not? I hope my acting later on wasn't too bad. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you are here right now, I suggest you, since my stream is DVR enabled, you can like go back and watch the reading. So yeah. So I'm gonna take a break, a short break. I may do some chatting here and there. I will be here, do not worry. So if you want to strike up a conversation, and trust me, something from Ed Sheeran's song, something, and trust me, something, whatever, copyright issues, I'm not gonna sing it. So yeah. I'm kind of out of breath. I don't know why, but yeah. Usually reading like takes up my energy by a lot. I'm not too sure why. I can talk for hours, but reading, it kind of takes me a lot of effort to do this. I'm not too sure why. I'm not sure it's the voice that makes me talk differently, or I mean read differently. Because I really feel like I'm out of breath, which is not too good, I guess. It was so funny. I came up with this idea of what was it? The internet historian incognito mode, where he just like, in the quarantine by internet historian. Wait, that's not how you do it. Ah, wait, I could use this voice for the next story. Ah. Oh. Oh my god, you can grind meat on those. God damn it. Anyways, a sip of my tea right now. I think I can do a corpse husband impression. Hey guys, do you want to know how many follows I got on Twitter? I don't know. Tell me, why don't you look at it and tell me about it? I have no clue. Do you know the way? I am an old man, and I will find you, and I will kill you. I think I can do an Optimus Prime, now that I think about it. Megatron, one shall stand, and one shall fall. Why do you throw your life so recklessly, Prime? Megatron, I am stuck, step Megatron. Ha, foolish Prime. I shall insert my energon to your exosports No, Megatron. The old spark is going into me. Ah, yes, Prime. Oh my god. No, I want to. I think Frank Welker's voice was a little bit higher for Gen 1, like, this place is the Decepticon's lair. Prime. And then in like Transformers Prime, it's like, oh, Bumblebee. Wait, I don't think that's how it goes. But Optimus Prime is like, amazing, a booby trap that actually captures boobies. I think I should probably go lower, like, that's like my normal tone. Amazing, a booby trap that actually catches boobies. Yo, speaking of boobies, Booby. Vtuber. What was it? What's his full name? Let us see. I am Infernal Beelzebub, Anarchia Crew, the Apocalypse, the opposite of divine, Prince of Suffering and Torment, Master of Sin, Master of all sin, Conqueror of the underworld, and King of all demonkind. Is a male English language virtual YouTuber and stream who debuted on 26 February 2022. Even his birthday is on like the April 1st. Damn. you know, I had this one joke. Excuse me. It was like a VTuber joke. So I told my friend, yo, I used to watch this fitness VTuber. Their name is Kokushinio. And they're like, who's Kokushinio? And I said, yeah, it's a fitness VTuber. It's like, what? Yeah, fit these Kokushinio in your mouth. Kokushin in your mouth. I didn't do it well now. Let me repeat it. Okay, I'll be friend A and friend B. You can tell by the voices, don't worry. Hey, friend. Yeah? You know, I used to watch this VTuber. It's a fitness VTuber. His name is Kokushinio. He does fitness. And it's like, oh really? Let me Google it. I can't find anything. Well, that's because you should be feeding my Kokushin in your mouth. Oh, my heart, my soul. Oh, I'm just kidding. It's fine. Boy, I say boy. Yes, the power of friendship denies me the power of friendship. Oh, we could always read Sonic.exe. Should we? Oh, one of my favorites. What was it? Red creepypasta. Yeah, Godzilla. That is like my favorite Godzilla copypasta. Creepypasta. Excuse me. I have to clear my throat sometimes. It's kind of annoying, you know. I used to watch... The first time I watched this was excuse me. I think it was on Sticky Paddles channel. When I heard the story, I was quite young, so I was quite, you know, not gullible, but easily afraid. So I was like maybe 15, 16, you know, I don't know, it's okay. Let me just Google it. So, Sticky Paddle. I think it was read by Mudahar, which, introduced me to his channel, which is one of my favorite channels that I watch. What was it? Ooh, Hong Kong Game Over. Okay, I think I watched that one. Damn! Damn. Godzilla. Right. Okay. Ah, yes. Yeah, now it's called Mullet Mike. Ooh, boy. Nope, I'm gonna mute you. Ads. Ads. What is subtract? Wait, it's Mullet Mike now? I believe it was Sticky Paddle. What the frick? That's impossible. Rich claimed that Mike stole the TSV channel. Oh my god. Dude, I feel so old. What the frick? How old was this freaking video? This video is like... Wait. The Sticky Paddle. What happened to the Sticky Paddle and Mullet Mike? Oh, I see. Wow, I feel old. Let's get back to, what was it called? Wayback Machine? No, what was it? Archive. Internet Archive. Okay, great. So can I search by channel? Or whatever it is. Alright, let's see. Reddit. Godzilla. It was a YouTube video. Now let's see. God damn it. Red. Godzilla. Not the Taylor Swift song. Joshua Piper. Ah, I see. Let me just type it in. Creepypasta. I really want to read that story, but maybe I'll do it like later if I have enough time. Let's say if I end within an hour 30 minutes, then I'll most likely read another. Alright? Okay. Good. What is good? Game over screen mystery solved? What? Man, I used to watch these as a child. Damn, these are like old. Yeah, Sonic CD, hidden messages. Ah yes, this one, Sega something. Yeah, I remember. 2012. Bro. When I first watched this, it was literally 2012. This, imagine, bro. Or maybe 2013, I don't know. And then, yeah, there's like Lavender Town. Like, oh my god. Damn. Sonic ends his life on the screen. What? Oh boy, it still haunts me. Oh boy. Nice. I love these. These are like my favorite. Story. I want the full story. Where can I find the full story? The most disturbing creepypasta of all time. No, that's not disturbing at all. It's not even disturbing. I feel like a lot of probably YouTubers fake their reactions to like horror stuff. Cause the first few times when I get scared it's like legit. And then later on I just like, oh, okay. And whenever I like, okay, I still react, but you know. If you know, you know. Excuse me. Burps. Burpee. Alright. Take a deep breath. You have the killer's really looking at me, really menacingly. Ooh boy, this is a long ass freaking story. Holy shit. Can I do it though? Makes you wonder. You know, someone edited this image, which is, oh shit. I can actually do a really scary face. Anyways, let us begin, shall we? Give me a moment. Let me change the reading. Right. Reading. Okay. Come on. Why aren't you changing? Why? What? Okay, you know what? Let's just leave it like that there. I'll remove it. Timer. Take off the break. Alright, so... Jeff the Killer. Excerpt from a local newspaper. Ominous unknown. Killer still at large. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy says that he survived one of Killer's attacks and bravely tells his story. Excuse me. Sorry if you can hear my lip smacking. I had a bad dream, and I woke up in the middle of the night, says the boy. I saw that, for some reason, the window was open, even though I remembered it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I heard a strange feeling. I had a strange feeling. Like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in a little ray of light, illuminating from between my curtains, were a pair of two eyes. These weren't regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black, and just plain up terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth, a long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there, watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it. A simple phrase, but said in a way only a madman could speak. He said, "Go to sleep." I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming at my heart. He jumped on top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked, I punched, I rolled around trying to knock him off me. That's when my dad busted in. The man threw the knife. It went to my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors hadn't alerted police. They drove into the parking lot. and ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. Wow. I heard a smash, like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. I look out excuse me. I look out to see him vanish into the distance. I can tell you one thing. I will never forget that face. Those cold, evil eyes and that psychotic smile, they will never leave my head. The police are still on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description in the story, please contact your local police department. Excuse me. Jeff and his family had moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be best for them to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother, Lou, couldn't complain though. A new house, a new, better house. What was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of the neighbors came by. "Hello," she said. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just want to introduce myself and to introduce my son." She turns around and calls her son over. "Billy, these are new neighbors." Billy said hi, and I ran back to play in his yard. "Well," said Jeff's mom, "I'm Margaret, and this is my husband Peter." "Peter?" "And two of my sons, Jeff and Leo." They each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. Excuse me, a hiccup. When Jeff and his family are done packing, Jeff went up to his mom. "Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid." Should I do an accent? "Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid." Wait, that's a little bit weird, not gonna lie. "Jeff," said his mother, "we just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now we're going to the party, and that's final." Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mom said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down his bed. He sat there, looking at his ceiling, when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much pain, but a weird feeling. He dismissed it as just some random feeling. He heard his mother call down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it. The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there, eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. This time it was growing stronger. It was giving him a slight tugging pain, but he once again dismissed it. As he and Liu finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then, all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise. "Hey, what the hell?" The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hands. The kid seems to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He wears an Aeropostale shirt and ripped blue jeans. What The frick is an ale pastel? Well, well, well. It looks like we got some new meat. Suddenly, two kids appeared. One was super skinny, and the other was huge. Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over there is Keith. Jeff and Liu looked over to Skinny Kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. And he's Troy. Tony, wow. They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about top of hey, that's mean. This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling. Well, that's a little bit mean, but okay. Tub of lard. Oh, I forgot to mention that, talk about tub of lard. Oh wait, talk about a tub of lard. Right. And I, said the first kid, am Randy. Now, for all the kids in the neighborhood, there is a small price for bus fare, if you catch my drift. Leo stood up, ready to punch the lights off this kid's eyes, when one of his friends pulled a knife on him. I had hoped you would be more cooperative, but it seems we must do this the hard way. Kid, what did you pronounce the kid as Kid? The kid walked up to Liu and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again. Now, it was truly strong, a burning sensation. He stood up, but Liu gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid. Ooh boy. Listen here, you little punk. Give back my bro's wallet or else. Randy put the wallet into his pocket and pulled out his own knife. Oh, and what will you do? Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed and Jeff grabbed a knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground, screaming, "Ah!" Oh wait, that was bad. I'm sorry. Troy rushed him. Yeah, Troy rushed him too. But Jeff didn't even need a knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over. Leo could do nothing but watch in amazement at Jeff. Jeff, how'd you... That was all he said. They saw the bus coming, and they knew that... It's so weird looking at a black screen and white text, so it kind of looks a bit weird sometimes. I should probably zoom it in. Yeah, I guess this is better. Hold on for a moment. They saw the bus coming and knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing. So they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Liu made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Liu just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids. But Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was. The urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. Excuse me, I'm gonna burp. Wow, that was a real big burp. Holy shit. Anyways, Where was I? When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said, in a somewhat ominous voice, "It was a wonderful day." Wow, no, it's bad. Let me redo that. It was a wonderful day. How do you do an ominous voice? I have no clue. Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at the door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look. "Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids. That it wasn't a regular fighting, and that they were stabbed." "Stabbed, son?" Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true. Mom, they were the ones who pulled the knives on me and Liu." Son, said one of the cops. "We found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 having a bruise in the stomach, and we had witness proving that you fled the scene. Now, what does that tell us?" Why do I have to live suddenly? Jesus. Now, what does that tell us? Jeff knew it was no use. He could say him and Liu had been attacked, but there was no proof of it. Was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing, because truth be told, they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Liu. "Son, call your brother now." Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all the kids. "Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Liu tried to hold me back, but I couldn't stop." The cop looked up at his partner, and they both nodded. "Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie." "Wait," says Liu. They all looked up to see him holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked them on Liu. "It was me. I beat up those little punks. Have the marks to prove it." He lifted up his shirt to reveal cuts and bruises as he was in the struggle. "Son, just put the knife down," said the officer. Liu held up the rifle. Wow. Excuse me. Okay. Alright. Okay. "No, dear. It was me. I did it. Something. Okay. Liu held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops. "No, Liu. It was me. I did it." Jeff had tears running down his face. "Oh, poor bro, trying to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away." The police let Liu out of the patrol car. "Liu, tell them it was me. Tell them." "I was the one who beat up those kids." Jeff's mother put her hands on his shoulders, sorry. "Jeff, please. You don't have to lie. We know it's Liu. You can't stop." Jeff watched helplessly as the car speeds off with Liu inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong. Son, what is it?" Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him as Jeff wept in the driveway. After an hour or so, Jeff walked back into the house, seeing that his parents were both shocked and sad and disappointed. He couldn't look at them. He couldn't see how they thought of Liu when it was his fault. He just went to sleep, trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days went by, with no word from Liu at JDC, my bad. No friends to hang out with, nothing but sadness and guilt. That is until Sunday, when Jeff is woken up by his mother. When Jeff is woke up by his mother? Even I corrected it, what the hell? When Jeff is woken up by his mother, with a happy, sunshiny face. "Jeff, it's the day," she said as she opened up the curtains and let the light flood into his room. What's today?" asked Jeff as he stirs awake. "Why, it's Billy's party." He's now fully awake. "Mom, you're joking, right? You don't expect me to go to some kid's party after all?" There was a long pause. Should I make it like a kitty voice, like, "Mom, you're joking, right? You don't expect me to go to some kid's party after that? Party after?" "Oh, hi. Okay. Anyways, Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be the thing that brightens up the past days. Now, get dressed." Jeff's mother walked out of the room and downstairs to get herself ready. Get ready herself. He fought himself to get up. He picked up a random shirt and a pair of jeans and walked down the stairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up, his mother in a dress and his father in a suit. He thought why they would ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party. "Son, is that all you're gonna wear?" said Jeff's mom. "Better not wear too much," he said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hit it with a smile. "Now, Jeff, we may be overdressed, but this is how you go if you want to make an impression." Wait, this is his father. "Now, Jeff, we may be overdressed, but this is how you go if you want to make an impression," said his father. Jeff grunted and went back up to his sorry. Jeff grunted and went back into his room. Went back up into his room. "I don't have any fancy clothes," he yelled downstairs. "Just pick out something," called his mother. He looked around in his closet for what he could find, for what he could call fancy. He just found a pair of black dress pants he had for special occasions and another shirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it though. He looked around and found only striped and patterned shirts, none of which go with dress pants. Excuse me. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on. "You wearing that?" "You wearing that?" they both said. His mother looked at her watch. "Oh no! Oh wait. Oh, no time to change. Let's go," she said herself as she heard Jeff and his father out the door. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door, and it appeared that Barbara, just like his parents, was way overdressed. As they walk inside old Jeff, excuse me, where's your freaking karma, bro? As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids. You know, I've been taught to use a lot of full stops. So use it. Jesus Christ. I'm just kidding. "The kids are out in the yard, Jeff. How about you go and meet some of them?" said Barbara. Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well be standing in Toys R Us. Suddenly, a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun. "Hey, wanna play?" he said. "Ah, no, kid. No, kid. I'm too worried. I'm too worried. No, kid. I'm way too old for this stuff." The kid looked at him with a weird puppy dog face. "He's one of the weird grown-ups." "Please," said the kid. "Fine," said Jeff. He put on a hat and started to pretend to shoot at the kids. At first he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he started to actually have fun. It might not have been super cool. But it's the first time he had done something that took his mind off Liu. So he played with the kids for a while until he heard a noise. A weird rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped off the hat. Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred. "Hello, Jeff. Is it?" he said. "We have some unfinished business." Jeff saw his bruised nose. "I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you, and you get my brother sent to the JDC. Randy got an angry look in his eyes. "Oh no, I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may kick our asses that one day, but not today." As he said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Jeff pushed Randy off of him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming, and their parents were running out of the house. Troy and Keith both pulled out guns out of their pockets. Ah, my God. "No one interrupts, or guts will fly," they said. "No one interrupts, or guts will fly," they said. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed into his shoulder. Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabs his foot and twists it, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him. "Need some help?" He picks Jeff up by the back off the collar and throws him off the patio door. As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked down to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts coughing up blood. "Come on, Jeff, fight me." He picks Jeff up and throws him to the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head. "Fight!" "Fight!" He throws Jeff back into the living room. "Come on, Jeff, look at me." Jeff glances up, his face riding with blood. "I was the one who got your brother sent to the JDC. And now you're just gonna sit here and let him rot in there for a whole year. You should be ashamed." You should be ashamed. Jeff starts to get up. "Oh, finally, you stand up and fight." Jeff is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling, the one in which he hasn't felt for a while. "Finally, he's up," says Randy as he runs at Jeff. That's when it happened. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and pile drives him to the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight into the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. As Randy gasps for breath, Jeff hammers down on him. Punch after punch, blood gushes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies. Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids, even Troy and Keith. Although they easily break from their gazes and point their guns at Jeff. Jeff sees a gun strained on him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him, each shot missing. Jeff runs up the stairs. He hears Troy and Keith follow up behind. As they let out their final rounds of bullets, Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs the towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith race in, knives ready. Troy swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. He's more agile than Troy though, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed him to the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of his... A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. It burned both of them, and they both started to scream. Jeff wiped his eyes as best as he could. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lay there, bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile. "What's so funny?" asked Jeff. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched it on. "What's funny," he said, "is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol." Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw a lighter at him. As soon as the flame made contact with him, the flames ignited the alcohol and the vodka. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol had made him a walking inferno. He ran down the hall, and he fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a man on fire, on fire, drop to the ground, nearly dead. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother, and the other parents trying to extinguish the flame. That's when he passed out. Wait, how long is it? Ooh, wow, it's got a long way. When Jeff woke, he had cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder, and stitches all over his body. He tried to stand up, but he realized that there was some tube in his arm. And when he tried to get up, it fell out, and the nurse rushed in. "I don't think you can get out of bed just yet," she said as she put him back in his bed and reinserted the tube. Jeff sat there with no vision, no idea of what his surroundings were. Finally, after hours, he heard his mother. "Oh, it's so hot." "Honey, are you okay?" she asked. Jeff couldn't answer though. His face was covered, and he was unable to speak. "Oh honey, I have great news. After all the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed of trying to attack you, they decided to let you go." This made Jeff almost bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming off his arm. He'll be out by tomorrow, and then you two will be able to be together again. Wait, give me a moment. Jeff's mother hugs Jeff's and says goodbyes. The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family. Then came the day where his bandages were to be removed. His family were all there to see it. What he looked like. As the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, everyone was on edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage holding the cover of his face was almost removed. Wait, before that, give me a moment, let me check my volume. Let's hope for the best, said the doctor. He quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Jeff's mother screams at the sight of his face. Liu and Jeff's dad stare awestruck at his face. What? What happened to my face? Jeff said. He rushed out of bed and ran to the bathroom. He looked into the mirror and saw the cause of distress. His face. It's horrible. His lips were burned to a deep shade of red. His face was turned to a pure white color. His hair singed from brown to black. He slowly put his hand to his face. It had a sort of leathery feel to it now. He looked back at his family, then back at the mirror. Jeff, said Liu, it's not that bad. Not bad, said Jeff. It's perfect. His family were equally surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. His parents noted as his left eye and hand were twitching. Jeff, are you okay? Okay? I've never felt more happy. Look at me. This face goes perfectly with me. I couldn't stop laughing. He strokes his face as feeling it. Looking at it. In the mirror. What caused this? Well, you may recall that Jeff was fighting Randy. Something in his mind, his sanity, snapped. Now he was left as a crazy killing machine. That is, his parents don't know. Doctor, Jeff's mom, said Jeff's mom, is my son alright? You know, in the head? Wait. Oh yes, this behavior is typical for patients that have taken very large amounts of painkillers. If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here, and we'll give him a psychological test. Okay, thank you, doctor. Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go. Jeff looks away from the mirror. His face still formed a crazy smile. Okay, mommy. Wait. His mother took him by the shoulder and took him to get his clothes. This is what came in, said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mother looked out to see the black dress and pants and white hoodie her son wore. They were clean of blood, now stitched together. Jeff's mother led him to his room and made him put his clothes on. They left, not knowing that this was his final day. No, wait. Not knowing that this was their final day of life. Later that night, Jeff's mother woke to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if there was someone crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked into the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheek. "Jeff, what are you doing?" asked his mother. Jeff looked over to his mother. "I couldn't stop smiling, Mommy. It hurt for after a while. Now I can't smile forever." Jeff's mother noticed his eyes, ringed in black. "Jeff, your eyes." His eyes were seemingly never closing. I couldn't see my face. I got tired, and my eyes started to close. I burned out the eyelids so I could see my face. My new face. Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going insane. "What's wrong, Mommy? Aren't I beautiful?" "Yes, son," she said. "Yes, you are. Let me go get Daddy, so I can see your face." She ran to the room and shook Jeff's dad from sleep. "Honey, get the gun," she said. She stopped. "Wait, honey, get the gun. Wait." She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway holding a knife. "Mommy, you lied." That was the last thing they hear as Jeff rushes them with a knife, gutting both of them. His brother, Liu, woke up, startled by some noise. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up, before Jeff's hand covered. Freaking mouse. Cursor blocking my view. He looked up, before Jeff's hand covered his mouth. He slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it to Liu. Liu thrashed here and there, trying to escape Jeff's grip. "Shh, just go to sleep," Jeff said. Wow, now that was a little bit weird, I would say. Could you imagine a bunch of kids bring out guns and like bam, 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 like bam, 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 shh. Like, why? How do you even write a story of kids with guns? I don't get it. Like, what? It's so weird. It's funny because I said something about seeing a black screen with like white fonts. Usually I don't use light mode. Dark mode is more like dark gray, I believe, more than black. So it's kind of weird that the contrast is like so different, you know? I'm kind of looking at words kind of stuck in my eye, you know that kind of feeling? It's kind of unpleasant, but don't worry, I'll get used to it. As for now, I'm just gonna go take a rest. We have 14 minutes, so yeah. Oh gee, Rick, I'm running out of tea. Morty, you gotta go refill the tea, Morty. But, Morty, shut up. Morty, Morty. Wait. Morty. I've been drinking too many vodka. Morty, I'm gonna shit in my mouth. I believe that's called barfing. No, Morty. It's like shitting into your mouth. Oh my god. Oh gee. And also, I kind of noticed that I kind of read the mom's voice like Stewie, like, what was it? Shit. Let me try to recall. How does Stewie Griffith sound like? Or, oh yeah, the Deuce? What the Deuce? Lewis! Lewis! Mama! Lewis! Lewis! Good old days of Family Guy. I just realized the jokes were kind of you know, not appropriate in current times, which is... I don't know what to say about that. Which is weird when you look back, you know? Especially for content creators, like, maybe... I believe Game Grumps is kind of like that for a while. So yeah, the humor kind of like toned down, which is... I'm not gonna say it's a good or bad thing, it's... I'm not here to give any opinion, but yeah. I'm just gonna let that one, you know, be decided by people. So I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna stretch for a while, so be right back. Oh wait, there was a story I wanted to tell earlier, but I kind of forgot. I was reading Jeff the Killer Halfway and I was like, yo, I kind of remember this story that I kind of wanted to tell, but nope. Okay, let me go do some stretches, a little bit of warm up, and then I'll return. Maybe within 5 minutes, who knows? Maybe earlier, I don't know. Oh yeah, excuse me. One thing that I was thinking about was kind of stopping VTubing. Maybe just play it with a PNG, you know? But the thing is, I think this is kind of unique. The reason why I wanted to stop using this as avatar is because I'm not a fan of furry stuff, and I don't want people to assume that, you know, I'm a furry, you know? It's more like a personal opinion. I don't really like the style and stuff. Not too sure about the fandom, you know? There are really... Of course there are good ones, there are bad ones, but the loud minority is really... How should I put it? There. But of course, like I said, these loud minorities are probably like, you know, giving people bad reputations and stuff. It's kind of like fandoms, you know, like Rick and Morty. Like the one guy with like screaming in the freaking McDonald's, like, "Where's my Szechuan sauce?" It's so. Who thought that it was a good idea to be a grown man yelling at a McDonald's? Yelling "Ree!" Like what? On the floor. Writhing. Struggling. I don't know, it's kind of like freaking Magikarp, like doing Splash. You get what I mean, right? It's like Magikarp. Pickle Rick. Do a magic flip. Do splash. Yeah. Hot da da. Hot da da. Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier. Okay. I'm gonna go back to stretching. Give me a moment. You're gonna hear some background noises, so yeah. At least my windows aren't open. Jesus Christ. You know, I'm like freaking 2 feet away from my mic. Or maybe 3? I don't know. Who uses feet? Wow. Americans, apparently. Who uses pounds? I don't know. Screw that, man. Jumping jacks.
I can't touch my toes anymore.
God damn it. I can't touch my toes anymore. Oh no. I used to be very flexible. Like, I could put my knee on my head for a kick. Right now, if I do that, I'd probably be on the floor, like, feeling all the cramps and shit. Jesus Christ. Oh! Ah! Ah yes, osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Oh yeah, I was thinking, like, maybe I should do like a boyfriend experience, you know, but it's a really bad date, so it's gonna be really funny. Should probably go something like, oh, you're taking me out for an expensive dinner. Ah, I see. I didn't bring any wallet. Something like that. Yeah. It's gonna be a special surprise. Okay. If you hear any scrunching sounds, it's it's kind of like my plastic mat that I use because I do not want to clean carpets. My floor is wooden, like, it's really old, just like me, not really. And it's kind of peeling off right now, so lots of stuff is coming out. Yeah, you get the point. Gaga. Should I sit down? I don't know, man. Bruh. Ah, so cute as a corgi. I love corgis. I especially love Shibas. They're like the best. Could you imagine me owning a Shiba? That'd be crazy. I would love that. We could talk about AI and like art stuff because yes, I do draw. So, you know, my opinions on the AI art, they could be used for like, I don't know, assisting artists to like maybe draw like better, more tailored references, I guess you could say. And it's kind of worrying that people are using this tool as like ripping people off with their art and stuff. Recently there's like a drama, like someone copied their I think they screen capped the picture, the drawing of some artists during a stream, and they use like an AI generator, and like, bro, like why? Sorry if I'm like stumbling on or like blah, 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 blah. I can't really form words that well. I'm not too sure why. My brain is kind of looking over the dictionary of a bunch of thousands of words that I would never use, you know? Like trollop? Who uses that word? Jeez. Anyways, it's kind of sad that I'm probably gonna be really irrelevant when it comes to art, because AI is gonna take over and like, it's already better than what I draw. Like, bro, I feel sad. Especially composition, you know. I usually struggle finding composition and like, yeah, I should probably study photography, you know? Get a good idea of like how composition works. One day, maybe if I go somewhere nice, I'll probably bring my camera to take pictures, you know? But I don't know. Another AI thing that I like is like they're not AI, more like, what was it? MatPat's generated videos, like, hey guys, and welcome to Game Theory, a show about how to find your dad. Welcome internet, welcome to Game Theory. But hey, that's just a theory, a game theory. Thanks for watching. Anyways, yeah. Now we're back to reading. So, stories onwards are gonna be from the nosleep subreddit. I've linked... No, I didn't put a link because I was a bit too afraid that linking to a subreddit is probably gonna be weird, because when I look at some creepy pasta videos I watch, they don't really mention like Reddit on their links, you know, the descriptions. So let us go on. Oh, by the way, if there are swears like the F-bomb or the B-bomb, I would probably replace it with something else. Keep that in mind. Excuse me. This story is not sponsored. This story is sponsored by Oh my god. This story is published by Papa Mishka 89. We've been locked in our classroom for days, and our teacher is starting to act really strange. Day 1. We had just opened our textbooks to chapter 8 when the alarms blared overhead. A red strobing light spun by the door as metal slats slid down the walls to seal us in. The others started to stir and panic at their desks. Now, class, I'm sure everything is fine. Probably just a drill. Mr. Jonas held up his hands in an attempt to soothe the crowd. Yeah, soothe the crowd. Yeah, it's too bright now. Just as he was about to open his mouth, Evie came over to the intercom. Level 3 intercom. Level 3 contagion, located in the south quadrant of the campus. Lockdown protocol is now in effect. Isolation protocol is now in effect. Oh no. The teacher suddenly looked pale and panicked himself. The teacher suddenly looked pale and a little panicked himself. Day 3. I slid my rook across. Give me a moment, allow me to slap me away. Day 3. I slid my rook across the tile chessboard to overtake Patricia's bishop. She stuck out her tongue in defiance as I removed it from the board. I smirked and then shoved another saltine cracker in my mouth. Mr. Jonas said we shouldn't be in here much longer. It's probably just the CDC taking a while to quarantine and eradicate the contagion. He said it must be a pretty nasty virus if they are keeping us locked in our classrooms. We had enough snacks for another day or so. It was beginning to It's been difficult to ration properly when all you have are crackers and candy and canned spray cheese. Overall though, we were keeping our hopes up, which was all we could do, really. Staying positive for now. Day 5. The room was starting to smell foul. We designated some buckets in the corner as bathrooms, as they were about half full and beyond putrid. We ran out of food last night. My stomach rumbled with hunger, but I did my best to ignore it. I didn't feel like playing chess or reading anymore. Instead, I just napped at my desk as much as possible to pass the time. I was hoping at any moment I'd be woken to the doors opening so that I could go home. I miss my parents. Mr. Jonas was losing his composure too. He'd been pretty put together up to this point and ensured we were all calm. But his eyes looked a little wild now, and he kept pacing the room, talking to himself. A few times I heard him cursing on his breath and then reciting prayers. I really hope we get out of here soon. Give me a moment. Day 8. Bang, bang, bang. A pounding sound coming from the other side of the classroom pulled me from my dreams. Bang, bang, bang. I stood still to appear asleep, but cracked my eyes just wide, just enough to watch as the biology teacher smashed a chair against the steel door over and over again. Bang, bang, bang. He was really losing it. Let us out of here! Wow, that sounds like voice critical. Ooh, yeah, baby! Mr. Jonas screamed as he tossed the chair to the side. I cannot do that, sir. Level 3 contagion has been detected. I've sealed off the infected area, but you must stay isolated for your safety. The robotic voice hummed over the speakers. He screeched profanities at the camera in the corner of the ceiling. Some of the other boys were becoming Take a deep breath, calm down. Some of the other boys were becoming aggressive as well. There had been some fights the last couple of mornings. Also, some hands were going where they shouldn't be going. Back behind the fake plants and lab equipment, it seemed as if we were slowly devolving, becoming an eclosion of chimpanzees, like one you'd see at a zoo, but only hungrier. We needed out, or something terrible was going to happen. Day 10. We'd been on diet of tap water for the past 5 days. I felt dizzy every time I stood from my desk. The room would spin and I would almost black out. I kept my footing by sheer force of willpower. I had this irrational fear that if I pass out, I'd be eaten by my classmates, like a pack of hyenas on a gazelle, feasting on my intestines as they spill across the tile floor. It sounded crazy if I said it out loud, but when I looked around the room and saw all of the hungry faces, I didn't think the idea was far-fetched at all. Too far-fetched, after all. Mr. Jonas hasn't said a word over 12 hours. He's just been sitting at his desk, carving something to the surface of it with an X-Acto knife. For the first time today, I had the thought that maybe we weren't going to make it out of this. Maybe we were all going to die in this classroom. I hung my head and cried. Day 13. Mr. Jonas! Mr. Jonas, stop! Micah cried. Don't you see? We have to do this. We need food. It's survival 101. When the pack is suffering and food is scarce, they turn on their weakest member. It's simple biology. Survival of the fittest. Mr. Jonas had his hands around Trevor's neck, squeezing so hard that the boy's eyes were about to pop from his skull. Trevor struggled beneath him, but he was frail, terribly small for his age. Micah grabbed a large beaker from the table and lifted it high over his head. Mr. Jonas, stop now! Don't make me do this. But the teacher was long gone. His eyes gleamed with delight as Drew dripped down his chin from salivating at the thought of a meal. I jumped to my feet as Micah brought the beaker down as hard as he could onto Mr. Jonas's head. It shattered to pieces on impact, knocking the teacher out cold. I helped Micah push Trevor off. The poor kid was wheezing and gasping for air as tears streamed down his face. You're alright. It's okay. You're alright. Micah patted the kid on the back, trying to calm him down as he wailed. Suddenly, there was a scream like a war cry, and Mr. Jonas was airborne. He leaped across the desk and plowed into Micah. They both went sprawling across the tile. Micah resisted him, but Mr. Jonas ended up on top and began dropping his elbows viciously on Micah's face, causing blood to spew from his nose and mouth. Static filled my mind. I didn't think, I only reacted. I reached down and picked up a hunk of broken glass from the broken beaker, grabbed Mr. Jonas' shaggy hair, and pulled it back to extend his neck I pulled the glass through the meat of his throat as hard as I could. I'd never seen so much blood before. It poured in a waterfall across Micah's chest. Mr. Jonas fell to his side once more. This time, he never get to get up again. I stared at my blood-soaked hands. I felt nothing. No remorse, no fear. Only static. Suddenly the metal slats retracted onto the ceiling and the door swung open. Lockdown protocol has been lifted. Please continue with your regular schedules. Lockdown protocol has been lifted. A cheery robotic voice seemed so distant and out of place now. The other students gathered around me, started at the pool of blood. I think it was the hunger talking, but part of me wanted to know what it tasted like. I think the others too. Thankfully, if that could happen, a man in a suit strolled into the classroom. Hello, class. His perfect teeth gleamed under the LEDs. Before we could say anything, a team of adults in overalls poured into the room. Some began taking pictures of everything. Others started cleaning up Mr. Jonas. One man with grey hair dropped a large box onto the teacher's desk and opened it. He then started throwing fresh fruit and granola bars to each of the students. We devoured everything he gave us. I started to feel more like myself after 2 bananas and 4 granola bars. They tasted like heaven, a sweet salvation. The first man with nice teeth and expensive suit waited until we were all done before he addressed us again. I know it has been a long 13 days, guys. I appreciate you all hanging in there. I've alerted each of your parents that you've been cleared to go home. The class erupted in cheers as we all hugged each other. Even Micah, covered in gore, danced around excitedly. You'll all be able to go home soon. But first, I just need to do a little debrief with each of you before you go. I'm going to set up the counselor's office, and Mr. Moses here is going to bring you down one by one to give your account of what happened here during your isolation. We all nodded our heads in agreement. Anything to get out of here. Mr. Moses, the man with grey hair and snacks, took us down one by one, and we spilled our guts to the man with the nice teeth. When I gave my story on what it was like, I still felt numb. Even when describing how I killed Mr. Jonas, I just felt nothing. It wasn't until I got home that evening that I'd broken down and wept. Once I was in my mother's arms, I cried. I cried and cried until I couldn't anymore. Then I ate more food than I ever had. I shoved pasta down my throat until I thought my stomach was going to burst. It was a good feeling to be full, to be human again. Years later, while I was at university, a whistleblower had leaked that what we endured at school was a government cover-up for a top-secret experiment. There had been no viruses, no contagion. It began as an experiment to test the artificial intelligence they had at the school. But it morphed into a social experiment to see how long we would last before someone was murdered or severely harmed. To test the boundaries of civility and moral character under immense pressure. Just in case there was a real issue with the code in the AI, and this scenario became a real reality somewhere. When I killed Mr. Jonas, it had ended the experiment. The news had made me sick to my stomach. I was angry and disgusted for weeks. I was okay with it now, though. You see, Trevor may have been small and the weakest member of the pride, perhaps, but he was also a genius. With his hacking expertise, we were able to locate Mr. Nice Teeth and Mr. Moses. It has been 6 days so far, and every time they scream and hit the door with a chair, I just can't help but smile. It's a little experiment a few of us are conducting. It'll end when someone is murdered or severely injured. Maybe. Wow. That's a nice story, holy shit. Damn. I really like it, even though I could have kind of predicted the story, the ending. It's kind of obvious once Mr. Jonas was killed. Or at least, like, when he was about to kill someone, you know? Like, Mr. Jonas was, like, trying to choke Trevor. Yeah, I think that's, like, the moment the light bulb suddenly just popped, like, bing! I kind of got the idea that, yeah, it is exactly like this. The story. Except for the torturing part, at the last few chapters, or whatever you call it. Overall, I think the story is pretty good. It was, while it was pretty damn predictable, it had some... I think pacing isn't the issue, but it just somehow just skips over to like day 3 and day 13, I believe, day 10. Wow, day 10 is like, what? Oh, day 5. I feel like day 5 would have been like an interesting topic to talk about. Not topic, a part, right? Oh shit, I went past like two hours. Holy shit. It's okay. We still have more time. So yes, we still have 2 more stories. Both of them are quite short, I guess. It's a very... I've read a bit of it, not gonna lie. So yeah. Do 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 ba 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 da 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 da. Oh. You know, I've never been really the type of guy to like say I love you, because I've been kind of... Should I talk about this? Nah. Yeah. Okay. I'll talk about the story. So there's this one Vtuber, I wouldn't say who it is. Oh, Vtuber. I mean, like, streamer. Like, they would say... Okay. Now, let's say I talk about this subject a day before to my friends, not to social media. And this one freaking streamer decided to say the same exact thing of what I said. Like, the next day, during the stream, like, yo, are you stalking me or something? Like, what? Bro. League of Legends? You get mad at it too? And it was something about raging at games as well. Like, I said something about I will never play competitive games because of the stress and stuff and the toxic community, you know, especially from Dota and League. I played Dota, and this one streamer decides to pull up League of Legends out of the blue. Like, what? In competitive shit. Oh my god. Are you reading my mind? And the next thing is like, I forgot what the other thing was. Like, it was a meme. And then this streamer also said the same meme the next day. Like, bro, it's not even a new meme. What? I kind of forgot what it was. I'm a bit too shy to mention this streamer because it's I don't know. I know they would never watch me, but yeah. Boy, I sure do hope that my audio input capture was like kind of muted when I cough or clear my throat, yo. Da 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 da. Sometimes I wonder, you know, I've kind of, I don't know, like, I've never really been to like parasocial stuff, like even as a fan of someone. It's like, yeah, sure, I'm a fan of them, but I'll never go like, oh man, I love this person, I'm gonna freaking, you know, cut myself for them, you know, sacrifice my blood to this streamer and stuff, this content creator. Yeah, I've never, okay, not to the extreme, but for me, I would usually like to watch them rather than, you know, interact with them. I mean, if they want to interact with me, that sure, that's nice, but I'm usually quite shy, so surprise. I think it's something to do when I was like a kid. I saw this like thread with a bunch of people like shit talking each other, and I was like, bruh. I'm pretty sure the J-pop community, modern community is like, I don't know, extinct. Haha, get it? Cause it's a dinosaur? Dinosaur. Dinosaur. Cause they're dead, get it? Die. Same time next week. Let's see. J-pop forum. Forums. I'm pretty sure that these are new, right? Oh wait, let me take a look. Chozo, Fanspot, applications. I'm pretty sure I could find it somewhere. Any must go here. Is it pronounced as I-N-I or is it any? No more dirty paths. Change heli flew. Fuel limit. Flew. Wow. I can't believe I just said it. Damn. Yeah, definitely, like, they're most likely, like, gone. Wiped from reality, I guess, from the internet. Which is kind of sad, because I can't find, like, the old comments, you know? Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Bam, 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 bam. Copyright. Cryptoraptor, Raging Raptor, Raptor's Brutal, Clone Hunter. God damn, these names are so freaking 2000s. Oh my god, Jesus, man. This is all like, damn. I remember back then was like the J-Pog mod of like Crusher. And it's so... I couldn't find the skin because it was deleted. I'm not too sure how to get it. Like, by the time I was playing, because I had like a PS2, and I played it on PS2, didn't really like it, but the PC version, like, oh, damn. It just hits different. You get everything. You get everything right. Damn. Could you believe it? Break down, drop this shit down. Alright, take an actual 4 minutes break. Actually, before that, let me turn on the AC. Hold on, give me a moment. Alright. Yes. It's kind of hot, not gonna lie. Give me air! Give me power! Where? Sail away. Wait, what? What the hell? Oh, what's that message? Massage. Ah, shit. Damn. Well, I guess I'll be working from home tomorrow. Beep, bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. Boop, 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 boop. I see. All the artists struggling to sleep have a sleep schedule, like an actual regular human sleeping schedule. It's kind of weird, not gonna lie. You know, I just want to say this. Okay, it's kind of coincidence that the cutest VTuber that I find is kind of like an owl. Like, damn. The model is super cute. I don't know why. I mean, my friend likes it too. She's like his favorite, like Hololive VTuber. So yeah. I think this is more like a character. Probably the personality that enhances the model. I don't know. But damn. Oh, I could put filters. I didn't know that. Wait, give me a moment. Filters. Let's put in a filter. Luma key? What's this? Luma. How does this work? I have no clue. Oh, damn. Damn, that's cool. Let's see. Scroll? Sharpen? Let's try sharpen. I'm a deep fried owl now. Oh no. It's okay. I think I'll leave it at this. It kind of makes me look nicer, I guess. Give me a moment. Yeah, this looks good. Not gonna lie. Damn. Should have used this like way back. Ooh, baby. Okay, let's continue. This story is posted by genuinelygrim. I found out how my wife copes to the death of our son. There was nothing special about that particular night. Nothing at all. The TV was blaring in the living room, and the dishes clattered in the kitchen with the promise of dinner. My oldest son, Jeremy, was sitting cross-legged on the floor, and mashing the controller buttons with a force that made me wonder whether the plastic knobs or his thumb would give out first. Grappling with the thought of a dislocated finger likely being cheaper to fix, I rattled the ice in my whiskey glass and cleared my throat for good measure. Hey Jay, hey, lay it off. Sure. Remember what happened to the last one? Excuse me. The last one was sitting in the... Oh my god, I should really read first before reading it. In my brain, I mean. Give me a moment, let me drink. Have a sip of water. Oh, yeah. Wait, before that, let me just Google. Evil is evil. Something girl. Anyways, the last one was sitting on the garage table, waiting for me to do something about it. Jeremy had thrown one of his fits and smashed it into pieces against the wall. We didn't bug him too much about it back then, as it had only been 2 weeks since the passing of our youngest child, and we were all going through something similar. It's funny to think how much coping mechanisms can vary from person to person. Some turn to alcohol, drowning themselves in liquor every night until the consequences of their drunken behavior finally catch up to them. Others take to violence, gritting their teeth through every social interaction until the build-up is finally enough to punch a little hole. Wow. Please, damn. Your sentences are too long. For me at least. Others take to violence, gritting their teeth through every social interaction till the build-up is finally enough to punch a hole through a wall. Then there's the type that confines themselves to their room and refuses to come out under any circumstances. The latter was our daughter, Maisie, by the way. She was only 14, and yet it somehow felt like she hadn't been a part of our family for a while. When she wasn't at school, she spent all her time She spent all her time locked away in her room on the computer or with her head under the covers. We'd long since given up on trying to coax her out of... Did you hear that? Well, that's what I get every time. We'd long since given up trying to coax her out and resorted to bringing her dinner plate upstairs and leaving it by the door. I nursed my drink thoughtfully, watching Jeremy swing and miss at a giant orc. "Shit!" he screamed, his shoulders visibly tensing. Tensing visibly. What am I, Yoda? God damn it. As the frail elven creature he was playing was lifted off his feet and slammed to the ground. Screw this stupid game. Not wanting to end another hole in the wall, I scrambled to my feet and pried the controller out of my son's hands. He resisted at first, but my solemn expression seemed to ground him. "Time out, Jer." "Jer? Jeremy? Sure." "Go set the table. Dinner's almost ready." I had no way of knowing this, of course, as my wife was doing the cooking that night. But I had to say something. Plus, I knew it would take a while to set the table just the way my wife liked it. "It's an extra place tonight," my wife Lily said, coming into the dining room, her cheeks flushed. "Why?" Jeremy stared at her. "Is Maisie going to eat with us?" My interest was piqued too, and I wondered if this meant we were going to take the first step towards being her family again. "Yes." Lily's lips pursed into a thin line. "Yes, she is." We stared at her in disbelief. To my knowledge, Maisie hadn't been downstairs in over 3 months. Aside from her quick disappearance out the front door, I never saw her at all. And most of the time I missed those altogether. How on earth had my wife convinced her to join us for dinner? I suppose I've been putting off giving any details about my wife. You see, the loss has affected her in a slightly different way. In a sense, I feel like talking about her coping mechanism. I feel like talking about her coping mechanism could potentially drive a permanent rift between us and destroy what is left of our marriage. That being said, I'm not entirely sure if there's anything left. Ever since the day our son died, she'd been detached from reality, I suppose, in a way. We all were. But my wife was different. She couldn't or wouldn't come to the terms with the fact that Kendall was gone. No, not in the way that you're thinking. She didn't sit on the edge of a bed crying for hours, nor did she spend every waking moment surrounded by photo albums or toys or clothes. In fact, she didn't cry or dwell on it at all. Instead, she carried the urn around. She carried it around and talked to it as if it was a real person. Comfortable? She could as she strapped into the baby seat of our car just the other week. I watched her through the rear view mirror, my skin prickling. Needless to say, I didn't like going out with my wife. She turned heads whenever she went. The grocery store, the spa, the bag. She was undoubtedly known as the crazy lady with the urn. Alright. She insisted we set a plate for our son every time we sat down to eat. Instead of talking to the rest of the family, she'd had conversations with the urn over dinner. It's a wonder she didn't try to feed it as well. At this point, I had no idea who Lily was. Our former prosperous marriage had quickly declined into one of convenience, and I often found myself fantasizing about other women. Once my side of the bed had been occupied, I was banished to sleep on the downstairs couch, so I could use the TV to satisfy my own needs without judgment. I'm sure my wife would have noticed if I started bringing dates home, but I never did, secretly hoping a day would come when things went back to normal. Oh, that's sweet. Maisie's gonna eat with us, Jeremy repeated, his hand frozen midair. In midair, his angry composure seemed to have vanished as quickly as it had appeared. For a moment, the room was enveloped in stunned silence. Then Lee spoke. Yes, she will be joining us from now on. My heart flooded as hope filled my lungs. It was finally happening. I could almost feel the broken pieces of our family sliding towards the dining room table from every corner of the house to form a long-lost family unit. Alright. Dinner's almost ready, Lily blurted out, turning on a heel and heading towards the kitchen. I'll just get Kendall. I got up to pour myself another drink, of course. She would get Kendall, of course. Things couldn't just go back to normal instantly. It would take time. Even so, as she brought out the urn and sat it on top of the plate, followed by a light kiss on the lid. I knew I could never get used to this. Shall I call Maisie? I asked, as my wife reappeared with a serving dish. Or will you? A strange expression crossed her face. She stood there, motionless, as though she was thinking long and hard about what to say. I swallowed, wondering if she hadn't heard my question. No, she retorted eventually. She'll join us when she's ready. And that was that. Neither Jeremy nor I questioned it any further. Instead, tucking into the dinner Lily had prepared for us. We didn't say a word throughout. My wife, on the other hand, said plenty. Enjoy your peas, Kenny? She asked the urn amidst bites. They're fresh from the garden, just how you like them. Remember when we used to pick them together at Grandma's? She taught me how to plant them too, before she passed away last year. I stared at my plate, my stomach in knots. I needed another drink, badly. But the bottle was in the living room. I wondered if I could slip away quietly to fetch it when Jeremy piped up. When's Maisie coming down? He asked, arranging his peas in a straight line. We're almost done with dinner. My wife looked like she'd been jolted awake from a pleasant dream. She began, her cheeks flushing. Oh, Maisie, yeah, perhaps another day. We stared at her, bewildered, but she seemed totally oblivious to our change in demeanor, chatting away to Kendall about rhubarb and its benefits on the body. Mom? Jeremy asked, his voice quivering. Why would Maisie come down? It was like she hadn't even heard him. Either that or she was doing her best to not pay attention. Clearly it was a subject she didn't want to address. What's your favorite vegetable, sweetie? She giggled, her tone suddenly cold, as if she didn't mean a word of what she's saying. Mom! Jeremy sat up in his chair and waved a hand in front of her face. Where the hell is Maisie? I tense up, knowing full well Jeremy wasn't supposed to speak to his mother that way, but the situation seemed to be spiraling out of control before I could stop it. Why can't you just talk to us every once in a while, huh? He exploded. If you spend half the time with us that you spend if you spend half the time with us that you spend with that stupid thing, then maybe we would still be a family. Caught in a fit of rage, Jeremy grasped the end of the table knot and pulled it towards him, sending the dishes crashing to the floor. Kendall's urn sitting on top of one of the plates succumbed to the same fate. Crash, clatter, cracked. Kenny, my wife screeched, leaping to her feet and dashed around the dining table. Baby, I craned my neck to look over the damage amidst the porcelain shards and utensils. The urn lay cracked in half, its lid nowhere to be found. It was empty. Kendall, Lily landed knees first on the shards, porcelain crunching under her weight. Nothing could have prepared me for what she did next. Jeremy and I watched in horror as my frantic wife snatched one half of the urn and stuck her tongue out to lick it. Her fingers desperately searching for any remains left on the floor. She swept her hands across the ground, cutting her skin up in the process, and shoved a whole lot in the mouth, her eyes rolling back inside her head. I wanted to vomit. No, I wanted to run. My heart was pounding at 10 times its normal rate, threatening to leap out my throat. My skin was clammy and my vision blurred, but not enough to stop me from seeing this monster that was my wife, stuffing ashes, blood, and porcelain shards down her throat. Jeremy must have felt the same way, but I couldn't see him. My television only allowing the image of Lily at a feast. Mom! I heard him cry, his voice a mixture of terror and disgust. He didn't say anything else either, making do with only a gargled gasp or short, rapid pants. There was nothing to say. Even now that I look back on it, I cannot think of a single coherent sentence that would have befitted these circumstances. I knew instantly that my wife was gone, and I'd never be able to see her the same way. Grabbing Jeremy by the arm, I tugged him away from the table, leaving Lily scavenging the floor. I needed to save my children. I get Maisie out of her room whether she cooperated or not, and take them both to my parents' house. At least that way I'd know they were safe before I dealt with my wife, or what was left of her. Jeremy was still in shock as I pulled him up the stairs, so he didn't protest. He seemed to know exactly what we were about to do, and I needed all the time I could need. He seemed to know exactly what we were about to do, and I needed all the help I could get. Maisie had never been easy to deal with, and I knew it would take some time to convince her. We had to get out. Now. Time we did not have. But as we barged in through the door of her bedroom, I instantly knew my plan wasn't going to work. The room was empty. The bed was made without a single crease, the computer was off, the desk was arranged neatly as if it were only there for show. rather than a part of someone's living space. A large maroon urn sat in the middle of it. I didn't need to ask. I already knew what happened. She had ran out. Damn! Holy shit, that was a good story. Damn! Ooh, baby. Oh, let's check out the comments. This reminds me of a documentary I watched some time ago about someone being addicted to eating ashes. So crazy to think about. I saw that. A woman that ate her husband's ashes, right? And she was worried because eventually there will be none left. Ooh, baby, that's really bad. I think the issue with the ending and why it's a little confusing is because the pronoun she is used after talking about the daughter's room. So the she ran out makes it seem like you're saying the daughter ran out of the house, not that you're talking about the mother eating ashes. Yeah, I kinda thought it was the mom, not the daughter. But I kinda knew that the daughter was already dead. Like I said, these types of stories are quite predictable, you know? Like Bird Box. I didn't watch the movie through, and I kind of predicted the ending. It's like, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched Bird Box, the ending is... Apparently the main characters go to a sanctuary where there are only blind people there, you know? So right now, I mean, in the Bird Box universe, something like in the land of ghosts, the no-eyed man is king, something like that. It's kind of weird. Someone please explain the ending. Lily has been eating Kendall's ashes, but she ran out of them. Somehow, she managed to kill and cremate Maisie, and has been keeping her ashes in the bedroom as a backup for when she ran out. It's possible she killed Kendall too. I see. Damn. If the dad and Jeremy didn't leave the house, they might be next too. Oh boy, that's weird. Oh yeah, that comment, like Maisie joining dinner is like, she could have like brought her urn down and like sit at the dinner table, which is quite dark when you think about it. The first thought was the dinner was Maisie, so maybe she sees it with her ashes. She was taken aback too when Jeremy asked if Maisie would still come down shortly before there was that. Oh my god, damn. Excuse me. She run out. Damn. This is really dark. Holy shit. Oh my god. So this is another theory where they said that the mom didn't kill Maisie, rather Maisie killed herself, and yeah, the mom decided, you know, cremate the body. Damn, it's kind of weird. Holy shit. Yeah, I didn't put two and two together. It's so weird. This is very good. Oh, she ran off ashes. I see, I see. Oh, damn. It's a little bit confusing because you could interpret it as Maisie ran out and the wife probably killed her, like found her and killed her, or she ran off ashes to eat, or the wife decided, you know what, I'm gonna bolt out of here. So that's like the multiple interpretations, I believe. Damn, the story is so good. I'm gonna lie. Or like when she ran out, it's probably like, oh, her spirit ran out, you know? What? The wife ran out Maisie's ashes to eat, so she killed the younger one. She got agitated when the new one found the floor as well and broke. Oh, wait, so did Maisie die first? She expired. It was like the evil's freaking laugh. Oh my god, I sound like a freaking villain, like. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, I like the comments where it treats it like a real reality, like those comments there, you know, it's fake, but they treat it like a real story, you know. It's really immersive when you think about it. I kind of like it that way. It's kind of like back when, no, not back when, you know, the boys where they have this YouTube channel like Vought something. And it was just like a soldier boy singing that with the song like, you want to be happy, you want living a king's life, something like that. It's so funny that the comments or something were like, I remember Soldier Boy like in the 1970s saving my grandpa, you know, shooting some Nazis and stuff. It's absolutely hilarious. I'm not sure if what I'm saying is coherent. It's yes, that's the word I wanted to find earlier, like coherent. Yeah. It's kind of annoying when you try to speak and kind of forgot your dictionary in your brain. The vocabulary is gone. Where is it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Maisie killed herself and the mom cremated her. Oh my god, it clicked. What the frick? Your daughter's dead. What's up with your wife? Please update us when you get to safety. Oh wait, she killed Maisie? How? Turbo parent. Well, it was a parent. You know, this makes me think like it's kind of weird. I'm lucky I'm in a no, I shouldn't say it. It's I don't want to jinx anything, so yeah. Next day and like, oh no, unknown Vtuber is on the news. Found, I don't know. It's kind of a morbid when you think about it. It's kind of weird because sometimes I pronounce garage as garage? Garage. Wow. You wouldn't believe how I pronounce salon. Salute, goddammit. Salute, salon. It's kind of weird because I think I picked it up when, you know, I've been watching a few kind of British sounding YouTubers and stuff, so I kind of adopted it. A British accent. Ooh boy. Oh yes, this is one quote by Geralt Rivia. What was it? Let me try to imitate Geralt's voice. Evil is evil. Lesser, greater, middling. Makes no difference. The degree is arbitrary. The definition's broad. If I'm to choose between one evil and another, I'd rather not choose at all. I don't think that's good. I probably need to redo that. Evil is evil. Lesser, greater, middling. Makes no difference. The degree is arbitrary. The definition's blurred. If I'm to choose between one evil and another, I'd rather not choose at all. I think that's better. Damn. I really like the story. Excuse me. I can't tell people. I can tell if people are real. You know what? Same. Same. Honestly, same. Oh, it's almost been 3 hours. Oh boy. And I thought I'm gonna have like an extra hour to like have to myself. Damn. Allow me to check how long this creepypasta? No. No sleep is. Alright, let's see. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's see what this is. Welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. Greetings and welcome to my sub. Nah. So this is a story about the ocean and how little we know about it. Especially when it plays with the idea of SCPs and stuff. Which is pretty scary when you think about it. Also, I'm thinking of doing like a hand cam. After doing that one bit with like hands. Hands. What are hands? Are they made for holding tools? Are they used to kill people? Used to cop a feel? Maybe touch these Are you ready to catch these hands? Or maybe, even better, hand holding. But that's a little lewd. All this in... Wait, what was it? The ending? Sure, let me find it again. Let me find it. All this and more on this episode of In the Quarantine. Yeah. I kind of want to do a female voice. I can't do it. God damn it.
Hi. I'm just really shy. I have no clue what I'm talking about.
Oh my god, that's so weird. may I get an ara, please? Ara. I think I'd probably do a higher, more female version. I don't even know if that's good. Like, damn. I should really change my Vtuber model. Because right now I'm just like swinging left and right. Like a clock. Ticking. Oh shit, it's time. I didn't even notice the timer. Goddamn. So this story is posted by Lightingnations. I'm a deep sea diver, in case you missed it. Scientists recently released an audio footage of a cavern collapse along the ocean floor. They are lying. All names have been changed to keep me out of hot water. Legally speaking, for 6 days I shared a cramped metal pod with 3 other divers, 594 feet below sea level. At that depth, there was a constant risk of explosive decompression, which would have resulted in cholesterol from our veins being about only the thing left to bury. Wow, shit. The 6th day, a grainy voice spoke over the comms link and gave us the green light. Then the boss told us to strap on our suits. These came equipped with circulating hot water systems to prevent hypothermia. Typically, 4-man teams split into 2 groups, alternating ships, not us. Wait, hold on for a moment. Boss was 42 years old, and a good family man. I remembered how choked up his voice got speaking with his daughter before submersion. When he found out my wife was pregnant, he gave me some great advice, like, build a nest egg and then get the hell out of the diving game ASAP. Advice like, build a nest egg and then get the hell out of the diving game ASAP. Soldier and gamble. I didn't know quite so well. Soldier mostly read in his bunk and trade. Oh wait, is the name, okay. Whereas Gamble just complained about how none of us played cards. Well, that's his name. He said the minute the cash got wired into his account, he was booking a suit at the Bellagio. Considering the money we were making, I doubt even he could blow through the earnings at blackjack table. You ever been on a job that pays as good for a single day's work? Gamble asked me one afternoon as we sat in the main chamber, an egg-shaped compartment 20 feet long and by 16-inch diameter. I shook my head. How about you, soldier? Nope, he answered, while doing clapping push-ups in space between our bunks. It's just weird, you know? All the talk of planting charters and local biodiversity, it sure doesn't sound like we're blowing up a cavern. Boss sat up in bed and made a cut it out gesture, his eyes flicking toward this little black cube in the ceiling. A camera. My hand literally cramped up from the mountain of NDAs our employees made us sign. Which is another way to say the suits took discretion very, very seriously. Once the command came in, we each used the bathroom. Pro tip, if you want to work in this industry, learn to shit on command. And then pile and then piled into the diving bell through a hatch in the ceiling. Like always, I concentrated on my mental exercises. Breathe in, breathe out. They were about the only thing that kept me from obsessing over how, if anything went wrong with the detachments, the chamber would crumble like a tin can. Gauges, switches, and monitors lined the curved walls of the bell. They lit up as we slowly rotated to position and then flushed outside into the cold water. Boss's voice came over the radio in my face mask. Take it nice and slow. I know we're all itching to get home, but don't be complacent. Let's do this once and do it right. Space out in charges. Double check everything's on. If anything goes wrong, listen to my instructions. I am Optimus Prime. You can't imagine what's it's like down there. In the bowels of the planet, you're free to fall into an open void while Lord knows what swims around you. Every so often, you feel a ripple, and knowing some strange alien lifeform just pass by, inches from your face. Guided only by our headlamps, we plunge until a bumpy and uneven surface rose to meet our boots. Then we hop-walked around like astronauts. The floor sucked my ankles. A greedy hidden mouth, it felt like standing on a shag carpet that shriveled and flexed every once in a while. Not like any cavern I see. Alright, give me a moment. So far as I could tell, we landed on some sort of formation with stadium-sized holes threaded throughout. Steep sudden drop-offs my lamp couldn't touch the bottom of. I'd never seen anything like it. Why had they sent us here, of all places? In near zero visibility, the four of us spread out and planted our chairs. As the distance between me and my teammates grew, the radio feed broke apart, and an intense panic washed over me. Breathe in, breathe out. Stay calm. We trained for this. A dive conductor once told me, if you can't roll with the mishaps, you need to get them out of the ocean. He was right too. Once, my suit's umbilical cords got tangled in a boat's tool rack. And jerky movements from the crashing waves overhead almost separated me from my gas supply. For a moment, I squeezed my eyes shut and prepared to meet my maker. But then my brain kicked into gear. Breathe in, breathe out. Nobody else is gonna save you. Through a combination of discipline, training, and sheer dumb luck, I somehow cheated death that day. After 2 hours laid charges rounding several chasms along the way, I closed in on our starting positions. Boss's voice crackled through my face mask. How are we looking? Only one more to go, I answered, relieved. Same here, said Gamble. 15 minutes later, our 3 headlamps converged at a meeting point. Soldier, as usual, kept his responses short and sweet. ETA 10 minutes. Estimated time of arrival, is it? I forgot. Most likely he picked up that sharp, methodical communication style in the military. Not much longer. Breathe in, breathe out. Soon we returned to the cabin. Spend 5 days depressurizing. Then I get home in time for my son's birth. Every once in a while, water rushed by or boiled around us as something big swam past. Something none of us could see. Maybe it kept it out of our lights deliberately. Maybe it wanted to stay hidden. Boss, who could monitor all of our vital signs through a little monitor attached to his wrist. Wait, Boss, who could monitor all of our vital signs through a little monitor attached to his wrist, pointed his light at me and said, "Nah, we're almost done. Nice and easy. Breathe in, breathe out. Another ripple. What creatures lived at depths of 600 above feet? Pelican eels, hatchetfish, octopus. But none of those stirred the water quite like that." "Nearly there," Boss said, after another quick glance at my vitals. A yellow blob towards us as soldier rounded a pit, lay one final charge along the way. While he drifted closer and closer, Boss performed a few last-minute checks. But before he could give the all clear, the ground flexed, the water particles stirred from my helmet. A powerful suction wheeled us all downward like hungry quicksand. As my thoughts circled back to my pregnant wife, I hoped she'd be well compensated for her husband's death. As the intensity of this ripple swelled, each of us careened off in different directions. Someone shouted, "What the hell is happening?" over the comms. It might have been me. "Everybody stay calm," Boss said, as calmly as he could manage. "Breathe in. Breathe out. Lose your sense of direction at that depth, and reorientate is a real... Unsure what wave was up, and still clueless as to what actually knocked us off course, I kicked in the direction of the nearest light. Our torches drifted closer and closer, still spread out across an area the size of a football field for a few glorious seconds. I thought everybody might make it out alive. But then, as more sharp waves pulsed out, I got this sense of a giant organism, leviathan-esque in size and somehow denser than the surrounding blackness, snaking its way out the pit. All of the lights vanished. In an instant, someone is gone, swallowed, taken. My chest went to fierce convulsions as I floated helplessly, frozen in place until a part of me became vaguely aware of Boss's voice screaming, "We have to go," through the headset. Breathe in, breathe out. I swam up in the direction of the pod, chasing the two remaining beacons. Breathe in, breathe out. Don't think about what happened. Hell, you didn't even see what happened. At this depth, your mind plays tricks. My brain was so fogged, I don't remember. My brain was so fogged out, I don't remember climbing back inside the boat or worrying about the mechanism sealing properly. The hatch closed with a hiss of air, followed by metal divots sliding in place. Once the water drained, Boss got on the comms and brought up soldiers' telemetrics in hope we could save him. Surely there hadn't actually been some kind of giant life form out there. Surely I'd only imagined that part. The data recorded by soldier's suit before it went offline indicated that the poor bastard plunged 1,203 feet in 30 seconds. His internal temperature spiking 30 degrees. His hands would not stop trembling. My hands would not stop trembling. Not just my imagination then. Breathe in, breathe out. There'd be no rescue mission, not even the suggested idea. Nobody even suggested the idea. And from the expression of Boss's face, I didn't think any of us would ever breathe a word about this. No wonder the suits running the operations took discretion so seriously. After Boss punching a few more keys, a countdown began. Breathe in, breathe out. Alright. The concussive force of a powerful blast made us rattle in our seats. Metal groaned all around me, and for a second the bell went dark. I waited for the smooth walls to come back into a sphere no larger than a marble. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. The lights blinked back on, one at a time. A collective sigh of relief went out. The boss pushed the comms link and announced we were ready for descent. Descent stresses your body. For 5 days we endured joint pain, headaches, and shortness of breath. Speaking only when absolutely necessary. Unsure whether whatever took Soldier's life might come back for us. What even was it? Had the charges been meant to kill it? Did it live within the chasm? Or had we actually been walking around on some nightmarish creatures back? We emerged pale, disorientated. Excuse me. We emerged pale, disoriented, and drained, like prisoners released from solitary. After so long under artificial light, the sun burned my retinas. Up on the ship, they let us take showers, had the chef whip up meals of our choosing, and then let's call our families only after reminding us about the NDAs. The ship docked off the southern coast of Greenland, where a taxi transported us to a private airship. Boss, Gamble, and I didn't hug, shake hands, or even say goodbye. We simply nodded at one another. I'm too much of a coward to tell Soldier's family what happened, so I'm sharing it with all of you instead. I haven't dived since that day, partly because of the guilt, partly because a giant lump forms in my throat at the mere thought of getting back in the ocean. And whenever that happens, I force myself out of that waking nightmare by focusing on the exercises. Breathe in, breathe out. Well, that's pretty weird. So yeah, my throat is kind of forming lumps as well right now. I can't really speak. Imagine doing this for 3 hours, reading stories, like, goddamn, I don't think I can do it. Maybe I should cut down on the amount that I'll be reading on stream, because, yeah. So, I'm gonna do something. Give me a moment. So that is it. We've read all the scary stories, I believe, horror within the description. So yeah, take care, everyone. I need to rest up, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow, where I'll be playing games. All right? Okay. So, take care, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye. Bye.